Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack the fascinating biological struggle behind our everyday exhaustion. If you've ever wondered why your energy levels fluctuate so wildly, or why waking up sometimes feels like this monumental uphill battle, even when you thought you got a solid night's sleep, you are in exactly the right place. We're diving into the cutting-edge science of how our bodies actually keep time, and how our modern lifestyle is pretty much actively at war with that delicate balance.
Seriously, think about it for a second. Why does Monday morning so often feel like you just flew across the country, even if you never actually left your zip code? I mean, unless you literally spent your Sunday navigating airport security, this whole feeling, which we've all had, isn't just some psychological dread about the work week starting. It's a very real, very measurable physical phenomenon, and it's rooted in this concept called biological misalignment.
All right, so here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with number 1, your brain's master clock. Then 2, the sleep pressure molecule. And 3, your unique chronotype. After that, we'll tackle 4, the modern light crisis. 5, the trap of social jet lag. And we'll wrap up with 6, reclaiming your rhythm. Let's get right into it. Section 1, your brain's master clock. Let's establish the biological baseline.
Meet the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or the SCN, tucked deep in the brain's hypothalamus, sitting right above the optic chiasm where your optic nerves cross. This tiny little region is basically your brain's master conductor. And it doesn't just manage when you fall asleep, it's actually coordinating an entire symphony of subordinate slave oscillators scattered all over your body, in your liver, your lungs, your muscle tissues. It's the thing ensuring that your digestion, your immune function, and your body temperature are all perfectly synced to a roughly 24-hour rhythm.
And get this, it really shows off the sheer, incredible efficiency of the human brain. This central pacemaker that drives your entire physiology, it's made up of only about 10,000 neurons. When you think about the billions of cells in the brain, the SCN is literally microscopic. Yet its rhythmic electrical activity dictates pretty much every single physiological process you go through in a day. It's wild.
Moving on to section 2, the sleep pressure molecule. Let's talk about adenosine.
So your sleep and wake cycles are actually this delicate dance between two totally distinct systems. On one side, you have that time-based system we just talked about, where your SCN is meticulously tracking the time of day and managing your circadian rhythm. But on the exact opposite side, you've got a pressure-based system. This is governed by a molecule called adenosine, which acts like a biochemical tiredness meter. As your brain cells burn energy, specifically as they break down ATP, adenosine starts piling up in the basal forebrain and cortex. From the very second you wake up, this biochemical pressure gauge is just slowly filling up. The higher the adenosine, the heavier your eyelids feel. And the catch? Only when you actually fall asleep do those levels finally drop, effectively draining the pressure tank for the next day.
Which brings us to the world's absolute favorite drug. And look, I really hate to be the bearer of bad news about your afternoon coffee, but caffeine doesn't actually give you raw energy. Not really. What it does is act as a chemical imposter. It mimics adenosine and fits perfectly right into the A1 and A2A receptors in your brain. So it physically blocks the real adenosine from binding. Your brain is still completely exhausted. That pressure is still building up in the background, but the "I'm tired" signal is just temporarily muted. And since caffeine has a half-life of up to 6 hours, taking that late afternoon espresso shot keeps those receptors blocked way into the evening, artificially pushing back your natural sleep pressure.
Let's look at section 3. Your unique chronotype. Morning larks versus night owls. Now, if you have ever felt guilty about being a night owl in a world built for early birds, consider this your ultimate science-backed validation. Extensive research, including twin studies using the morningness-eveningness questionnaire, reveals that exactly 54% of your chronotype is entirely genetic. Yeah, over half. That is a majority share of your sleep preference hardwired directly into your DNA. Sure, age and your environment absolutely play a role, but the genetic unfairness is incredibly real. The precise timing of when your core body temperature peaks, when your melatonin starts flowing, and when you hit maximum alertness, you largely inherited all of that.
All right, section 4, the modern light crisis. This is where modern tech clashes with ancient biology. So our eyes contain these specialized cells called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells. Let's just call them IPRGCs for short. They are uniquely tuned to detect blue light, specifically right in that 400 to 500 nanometer wavelength range. Out in the natural world, this specific light means one thing: morning sunlight. But our modern devices blast this exact same wavelength.
So when you're laying in bed just casually scrolling on your phone, you are actively deceiving your own brain. That blue light triggers the IPRGCs, which shoot an urgent signal straight to the SCN. Your master clock knows, oh, the sun is shining, and it instantly shuts down the release of melatonin, which is your crucial sleep-initiating hormone.
And the consequences of this are pretty severe. Just 2 hours of looking at a glowing screen in the evening causes an average 1.1 hour circadian phase delay. To put that in perspective, by artificially pushing your biological clock backward with that screen time, you are actively setting yourself up for a brutal, totally misaligned morning. You are effectively shifting your internal time zone every single night, all without ever leaving your couch.
Which perfectly cues up Section 5, the trap of social jet lag.
You can actually do the math and calculate your own weekly circadian misalignment. It's a phenomenon researchers call social jet lag. All you do is find the exact midpoint of your sleep on a typical workday and compare it to the midpoint of your sleep on a free day. You know, a day where you just wake up naturally without an alarm. Take this example right here. Someone whose workday sleep midpoint is 3 a.m., but on weekends it shifts to 5:30 a.m. That is a 2.5-hour difference, meaning every single weekend their body is biologically traveling 2.5 time zones away and then abruptly trying to snap back to reality by Monday morning. And we really have to emphasize why this matters, because over 70% of people experience at least an hour of this social jet lag every week. The research is crystal clear. This chronic misalignment is linked to some pretty severe long-term health impacts. It messes with the hormone ghrelin, which cranks up your appetite for energy-dense junk foods, actively elevating obesity risks. It impairs how you metabolize glucose. It lowers your heart rate variability. And maybe most alarming of all, it has strong correlations with mood disorders like depression, not to mention visibly tanking your performance at work or in school. Finally, Section 6, reclaiming your rhythm. Let's talk about some science-backed solutions. The good news is we can actually negotiate a biological ceasefire just by making a few practical tweaks. First, get just 15 to 30 minutes of natural morning sunlight within an hour of waking up. That boosts your serotonin and screams at your SCN to halt the melatonin and release that healthy waking cortisol. Second, respect the adenosine cycle. Set a strict, non-negotiable caffeine curfew at least 6 hours before bed so that sleep pressure can actually do its job. Third, cut down on that blue light at night. And lastly, try to minimize the gap between your weekday and weekend sleep schedules as much as humanly possible. Ultimately, this isn't about some crazy complex biohacking routine. It's just about respecting our evolutionary biology. As this highlights perfectly, simple, consistent exposure to natural environments, especially early morning light, is quite literally the most powerful evidence-based tool you have for resetting your cellular biology and finally getting that deep, restorative sleep. Thank you so much for exploring this explainer with me today. You know, once you really understand the mechanics of the SCN, how adenosine pressure works, and the harsh reality of social jet lag, it becomes obvious that sleep isn't just this passive off switch. It is a highly active, totally vital rhythm. I really hope this leaves you eager to completely rethink your morning routine. So I'll leave you with this. Tomorrow morning, are you going to let a blaring alarm clock dictate your day, or are you going to step outside and let the sun reset your biological rhythm?